Hello everybody, my name is Benji and welcome back to Mindustry. More specific than that, welcome back to 133. I'm really glad I checked that number because I was about to say a different number. You'll notice something. I completely got rid of every single piece of the enemy base and every single piece of my base with the exception of power production because there's not going to be anything up here other than power production. Currently we are creating a nice crisp plus 5k from everything that we have here as a net source. And the reason why I got rid of everything is so that we can just start with a completely and entirely blank slate, because this world is going to become the first of many major production hubs. We have the technology, we have the resources around here to do this, and I have the willpower to do this as well. So what does a production hub mean? A production hub means that I am going to be using this place as sort of a forward base of operations for other worlds and other areas on the map. So eventually, at some point, we're going to unlock the ability to send resources to and from different zones. And once we have that unlocked, we're going to be using this zone to transport primary resources such as silica, graphite, thorium, titanium, and surge alloy and phase fabric and other things like that all over the entirety of the world. So what does a production hub entail exactly? Well, we already have our drones. We've got 16 of the little monos going around, so we don't need to do any extra copper or anything as a raw resource coming in, so we're good on that front. We've got our army of 16 polys here as well, ready to rock and ready to roll. So the first major thing on the list to actually take care of is silica. And we want to leave some room over here for belts of different resources coming back, but we can probably use this coal node right here in order to start our silica production. Except for the fact that I really kinda would like having room for belts. Well, we'll just set it up the same way that we had it earlier, like this. This will be fine. So we completely and entirely ripped everything out of this place and are going to build it completely and entirely new. So first off, like I said, silica. We're going to get the silica Mark II here. And I think we're actually going to grab 2 silica Mark IIs. Just like this. The load balancer at the end. And these are going to be the first 2 resources that we put into the hub. Just like that. Or the core, rather. It would be the hub if we were playing Satisfactory. And then we're going to have some belts doing some fancy shenanigans here. Going up and around the whole place. Like this. And with our army of drones, this will take no time at all to complete. See, look at them go. Freaking nominal. Just like that, everything is good to go. With the exception of the sand. So the sand is going to need 4 of these on either side in order to get the 2 full belts on either side. Just like that, and just like that. And then the other sand, I think I'm actually just gonna do down here. We'll get the titanium from elsewhere. We don't really need this titanium node. Nah, we're gonna want that titanium node actually. Scratch that. We're gonna want that titanium node. so where else can I put the sand? Is that 8? That is 8. Here's how we're doing this instead. We're going to keep the setup that we had, but we're going to edit it just ever so slightly. Like this. So that now, these two go into those. This one goes here. This one goes out. Like so. And this one does the same. This one just enters right there. Rotate those belts. And this one goes around the coal and just in straight through the bottom. Just like that. And with those added power connections, we should just be able to do that and get silicon online and hope that things actually work out correctly. It should. I don't really see a reason for them not to. So while that's doing its whole good thing, we're going to grab titanium. And the titanium is going to go up on the belt. And then we're going to grab the exact same setup that we just had for the thorium. It's going to go up on a belt. Just like this. Connect that into the power and check it. That's a lot of power being used already. Why does it sound so loud, by the way? I thought I fixed that already. Well, now it's definitely fixed. No doubt in my mind. Alright, so with all of that set up and ready to go, we're probably going to use some of this for graphite in the future. I might want to use this for more silica, judging by the belts currently suffering. Yeah, we're going to use this and pump it into our silica line. And then if we want to grab that in the future, we can grab that in the future. But right now, we are just going to take this belt, wrap it around, and toss it into the silica portion. Alright. So next up, let me move these guys a little bit. Not what I wanted to do. Just grab these guys, move them a slight touch. Just like that. Get rid of those guys. Wow, that coal belt still looks kind of sad. Silica looks good though, so I guess we're all fine in the long run. Next up on the list is going to be I'm forgetting the word. It'll come back to me, I promise. The graphite. Graphite is next up on the list. Because the graphite is very important to me. Specifically, it is very important to future Benji. It's also going to be very important for building things currently. So this is going to be a lot of coal. I should very easily be able to run multiple of these machines. But I think I want to do it just a touch different. I want to leave some room for the oil to come down, because with this and this here, we're going to be doing plastanium processing here. Which that'll be fun. I haven't set that up yet. So let's grab this and just copy it a couple times. Except it's encroaching on the coal, and that's not good. So let's go ahead and grab all of this stuff. Just like that. Should be good. And then we're going to grab a distributor again. I know it's encroaching on the titanium a little bit, but it's fine. We should end up being able to grab enough of it and not have it interfere anyway. And that one's going to hurt my soul a little bit because I'm not using that node to the fullest, but I guess I'm not using this one to the fullest either. I could, though. I could use this one to the fullest. I'm just being lazy. There we go. Now this one's going to be used to its fullest capacity. Right there. Like that. Just like that. And then I actually want to have these done a little differently so that I can actually have the spider webbing effect that I want to have here. Like this. And then have them all come together on a load balancer. Like so. Except this one's going to encroach on the oil a little bit. And then we grab both of these and take them straight up. Except right here, we're going to go on ahead and future-proof ourselves. And then both of these belts will go right up the system here. Whoops. Just like that. And just like that. Woof. A lot of building right there. A lot of building. A lot of stuff going. I hope that my explanations were good enough to make it so that this isn't super confusing. There we go. And how is power? Power is negative. Oh yeah, power is negative. Can I fit any more power up here? I still have the power generation capabilities. Like, I have more coal than I know what to do with. Problem is, I don't really have enough more room for another system like this. Oh, well, no, that's a lie, I do. Yep, nope, I'm just a straight up liar. I am just a straight up liar, you guys. I do have enough. I do have enough room. Okie dokie. I do need another 8 of you guys, though. Do you mind fitting in here? Yeah, you'll be fine. And we'll just do that. And with the drones, it's done already. And that should .tm get us back up in the positive 1,000, probably? Roughly? Something like that. I don't know. It's fine. Okay. So that is some of the major stuff done. I would also like to do metaglass stuff, because metaglass isn't super valuable, but it is still valuable to the point where I would like a decent amount of it being produced here. So we're going to grab a roughly full belt of this lead right here, and it's a 1-to-1, right? Is it a 1-to-1? Yeah, it's a 1-to-1. So full belt of lead, full belt of sand. Power for all of them. Oops. No, what's happened? Kiln Mark II. This goes in like that. And I guess one of these is gonna go in one, and then the other one's gonna go in the other, I guess? I guess that's how past Benji wanted this done. Oh well, doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter to me, we'll do it. And there is the kilns, all powered on and ready to go. And now we just bring this up like so. We actually might merge the thorium and titanium onto the same belt, because we are running out of belts and we do not have the particle accelerator yet. So once we are out of belts, we are out of belts. However, that's not the end of the world right now. Right now we don't care. Right now we are going to set up the plastanium compressors. Now the plastanium compressors take a lot of oil and a lot of titanium every single second. So we're going to set this up in a system of 4, because production time is 1 second, so it takes 2 titanium per second per machine. So a full belt of titanium will do 5 of these actually, so we'll do 5. And the way that we set these up is like so. We have all of these coming in. This is not a schematic yet, it's about to be though. And we make it modular because we always make things modular here. And then we have a system of routers, actually overflow gates, because overflow gates are going to be better. And then we've got conveyor lifts, bridge conveyors, whatever they're called in this game. Just like that. There's the input. There's the input. There's the output. And the power can go right there. So this is going to be plastanium. It doesn't need a Mark 1, Mark 2 because plastanium is always, always, always going to be late game. So now we take this, save schematic, plastanium. Just like that. 900 power. Wow, do I even have that? I barely have that. I'm going to need to set up more power. I probably won't record that. So this does things at a rate of 6 per second. This does things at a rate of 48 per second. So we're actually going to use these guys here. And they're going to take even more power because they're greedy, greedy, greedy machines, aren't they? Yes, they are. Ew, that's a problem. We're running out of belt space over here as well. Oh, well, that's just wonderful. That's a 4 gap. What am I going to do with this titanium now? Because I got to get the oil down. The oil's like the most important part of the titanium. Like the plastanium stuff. So how do I get the titanium down? Well, with a lot of jankiness. And a lot of junctions. And then we do another load balance. One of the belts is going to go there. We're going to copy this design and do it again. And I really should have made these the Mark II pipes when I did the schematic, but I didn't. Liquid junction so that I don't get any sort of water on the pump. No, no, not allowed. You're not allowed to do such things. That's a bad placement. That's a better placement. And then we take this down and do that. Do that. Okie dokie. And we're actually going to do this so that we don't have to even worry about the junction. There's the oil. We already fixed that. And now we fixed that as well. Now, we take this, we do that. We take a load balancer right here. Take the second belt, like so. And then we take both of these guys, set both of these guys up the way, just like this. We're actually going to do it like that, just to make it look a little neater, a little cleaner. And that's where things are going to start to fall apart. Right. Because of course things are going to start to fall apart. Guess what we could do is just load balance like everything. There's plastinium, first plastinium ever produced in the entire playthrough so far. And we could just load balance everything like this, make them all go to different belts. I feel like that'll probably work at least somewhat. Okay, so this just works eventually. That still doesn't actually fix the fact that we are out of belts. Except it kind of does, actually. If you really think hard about it. Because look at that, none of these are getting backed up. It's all working. And everything's just on different belts. It's a huge bus. It's great. It's amazing. And our power is in the official negatives. Alright, so I'm going to go fix the power situation. Then we can start on, like, alloy smelting and stuff. That'll be fun, right? Alright, we got the power situated over here. 16 more water extractors, 16 more steam generators, and a whole bunch more coal. I just need to make sure that the coal actually gets fully saturated, because if it doesn't, I'm probably going to need to get more coal. But it's looking like it's getting fully saturated, and we are going to be fine. Yes, we are going to be fine. We can upgrade power systems in another one with the differential generator, which requires pyrite, which isn't awful to build. It's just lead, sand, and coal. So I could do that if we run out of power again. But the issue with pyrite is also the fact that it requires cryofluid, which is titanium and water. And there's, again, not a whole ton of water around here. So next up on the agenda is the alloy smelter setup, which is a bit of a beast. Titanium, lead, copper, and silicon. Yeah, a little bit of a beast. So we're going to use this coal node, probably this copper node, this I did say limestone, this copper, and probably some lead and stuff, but the actual production buildings are going to be right here. We're going to have, what's the production time? 1.25 seconds. So 4 for every 1.25 seconds. That's about 3 every second, rough number. So a max speed for this is going to be 3 on max belts, is 3 alloy smelters. And this is a heck of a bus to create, because it's 4 inputs. So overflow, 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 overflow. Junctions, junctions, and belt, 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 belt. And then we will copy that the entire way through. It'd take a while to build without the drones, that's for sure. So now we take this and 2 more, like that, and like that, and just like that. Now we have the alloy. and we can do this. So we're just going to take this piece of the alloy smelter and just do alloy. Just like that. Nothing super fancy. It just kind of is what it is. And this should .tm actually work. I'm going to go on ahead, set up the silica, the copper, the lead, all that good stuff, and be back with you all in a moment. And with that, the final piece of the production line comes into place. We've got the titanium being produced up here, which isn't quite a full belt. I actually should probably add in a little more to that, because I would like that to be a full belt. Even though it only needs technically 2 per second, so it doesn't need to be a full belt. I think it'll look better if it is a full belt. And it looks like I might need to add some coal to the silica production. Maybe not, though. We'll see how it goes from here. But the silica has to go the whole way down to the end. There it goes. New content unlocked. Alloy. Wondrous. Starting to back up. We'll see it back up here any second now. There it goes. Which means now it's going to back up there. And this one's going to start to produce. And then it's going to back up here. Soon.tm. There it goes. So now we are producing all of the items in the game with the exception of phase fabric, which we have not yet unlocked. So let's go take a look at a couple of things here. First off, we've got the plastanium conduit and the armored stuff. It's the same rate as a titanium conveyor, but it is, well, armored. This is the one, the plastanium conveyor. It transfers things in terms of stack size rather than in terms of per second, which is a little bit interesting in my opinion. Ooh, the silica crucible. The crucible is a fun one to mess around with. It, oddly enough, uses not only, let's find it here, silica crucible. Not only does it take the coal and the sand in order to run it and make the silica, but it also uses pyrrhotite as fuel. So I used to have I keep going on the wrong thing. I used to have a schematic for that back before I lost all of my schematics when the game crashed before I got my PC fixed. So we'll have to do that again, but for right now I'm not super worried about it. I just want to see what else I am able to research now. Battery diode, that's interesting that it took that long. Surge tower is going to be really good. It's a long-range power node, as it says right there. Disassembler might be interesting to mess around with. Haven't really messed around with that at all. Thorium reactor, good source of power. Requires cryofluid. Keep that in mind. Plastanium wall, surge wall. Swarmer is a really good defense because it's homing missiles, and you can use surge alloy for lightning and a couple of other stuff as well. Fuse is a good one as well. We're going to grab that. Tsunami is just a better version of the wave. And the meltdown. Very late game item. We're not going to worry about that right now. So that's about it. I don't see the planetary thing yet to launch things back and forth between planets. I think that might be this. So next episode, since we are done with the production hub, next episode we are going to move on from the realm of production and begin in the realm of a new area. We're probably going to head over to the extraction outpost, which is another enemy base. That is such a shame. I was expecting it to be a wave defense, but we'll get to that when we do tar fields. Next up is Extraction Outpost, which is going to be next episode. But thank you everybody so much for watching. I hope you have enjoyed. It's still a lot of fun to be in Mindustry, and I love doing this stuff where we just take a planet or a zone at its complete and entire worst, and then we turn it into a major production hub just like that. so much fun. But without further ado, adios, sayonara, au revoir, hasta la vista, das vidanya, auf Wiedersehen, ciao, and goodbye. Have a wonderful day. I will see you all in the next episode. Later.